Hey everyone, this is Nate with My Liberty Homestead. Today we're going to continue on with our series on fermented vegetables and side dishes, and today we're going to do fermented salsa. One of my favorites. I like to eat it all the time with chips and maybe a little bit of guac, something like that. You can do it hot. You can make hot salsa. You can make regular salsa. I like mine to be a little spicy. So this is going to continue on with our series to try and incorporate fermented vegetables and side dishes into our everyday life. We need more of that in our cooking and in what we eat. And side dishes like this are a great way to try and have those a little bit every day in your life. You can use it with eggs. You can just eat it with chips. There's so many different things you can do with this. It's a great thing to have on hand. So just to sum up, what we're going to need today are some fresh tomatoes, some jalapenos or chili peppers if you like it hot. If you're following along in the series, you'll have some of the fermented radish juice. That's going to be a starter to try and get the fermentation kicked off. You don't necessarily need it, but it does give it a boost and get it moving fast. If you have it, I definitely recommend you using it. You don't need a lot, so but it's great to have on hand, and you can use it for other ferments as well. And we'll be using it in the future as well. So don't throw away the radish juice if you have it. That's great. Some people even like to drink it. You know, whatever you have is going to be great. So we're going to jump right into it and get started. So for our fermented hot salsa, or salsa if you want it, what we're going to need are some tomatoes. Could be overripe or just ripe, whatever you can get your hands on. We're going to need some, what we're going to use as a starter to get the fermentation going from a previous batch of radishes. So we're only going to need maybe a tablespoon of this radish juice, and that'll give us a kickstart to get the microbes moving and get that fermenting real fast. And then in hot peppers, I have some jalapenos or some small chilies that I grew, whichever you like, or maybe none at all, depending on what you want. And we'll get it all prepped and thrown together. You can take the skins off the tomatoes if you want. I never worry about it for salsa. I just make sure I cut them into small enough slices, and I just throw it all in. And that's going to where you're going to find all the yeast set on the tomatoes is going to be on the outside on the skin. So I'll get them cored and cut up, sliced real thin, and the skins won't even bother me. For those of you using peppers, you can either take the seeds out on these little bigger jalapenos. I'll take them out. For the smaller chilies, I'm just going to go ahead and leave them in. It's not even worth trying to get those out of there. But like I said, for the smaller ones, depending on how much of a kick you want, if you really want it to be hot, leave the seeds in and it'll really throw it on fire. Alright, so I cut up a few peppers, and how many you do is completely up to your taste. What you want to do partway through, I have one tomato completely cut up. You're going to want to put it into a container, whatever it may be. I'm just using a Pyrex bowl here. Juice and all. Get all your tomatoes in. I prefer to do it one at a time. Get those all in there. And you're going to want to salt this. So how much you do, you may think you're over salting it, but you do need quite a bit for the fermentation to be protected. So you'll throw some in. I'm not sure if you can see from the video. It looks pretty salty. That's all going to mix in all the water. It's going to pull all the water from the tomatoes, from the peppers, and every tomato you're just going to redo. You're going to slice it real thin, like if you want, just like I do, or you can cut them in rounds. If you're making salsa, though, probably the thinner the better. And salt as you go. All right, so another tomato. Going to do just like we did last time. Pour everything in, including the juices. Get everything in there. And we're going to resalt when we're done. Every layer you do, you want to put more salt on top. And at the end, we'll taste it. We'll give it a good mix and see if it's salty enough. And maybe add more if we need it. And then resalt. Like I said, you may even think it might be too much, but it probably is just right when you think it's just a little too much salt. Alright, so we cut up, we said peppers, tomatoes. If you don't have one of these, canning funnel, it'd be great to get, especially if you use mason jars a lot like I do. We're going to use a wide mouth with a plastic lid, and like in one of the previous videos. And let's go ahead and dump it in and see where we fill up to. That's great. That's closer than I thought it would be. Scrape out any peppers, anything you have. So like I said, we're going to need a little bit of radish juice. It's not going to need to be much. Piece out of there. And now we can talk about spices. So I personally like coriander, pepper. If you want it even a little hotter, you know, you can put some cayenne powder or any type of powder that you have. So this is all about where you get to make it unique and make it yours. You know, like I said, I like coriander, so I'm gonna throw some whole coriander in here, a little bit more salt, pepper, and anything else I can think in. Some fresh garlic, that would be great. That's what I'm gonna throw in here. Okay, so we're all done. Cut up all the tomatoes and got it stuffed into a jar. So you can leave that on your counter, probably like what I do, for a week or two. I like to stir it every day or give it a shake. The plastic jars, or excuse me, the plastic lids help with that and not building up too much pressure. So I like to stir mine every day or even twice a day so it doesn't build up too much. And within a week or two, you can have some really great tasty salsa. I recommend coriander and a lot of the other spices I just talked about, but you can make this your own. That's where the personality really comes in. If you like one flavor over the other, or you know, you want it to be like a smoky flavor, or you know, whatever you have on hand, make it your own and you'll really enjoy it. So if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, give me a like, and I'd really appreciate it. Any comments or feedback, please leave below. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.